So I'm sitting down here on the floor of my room right now because I'm about to explain what went down today. Okay, so today was the field trip that I went with my environmental science class. It was supposed to be 4 of us students, and we go with our teacher and our teacher's wife and these 2 field experts in forestry, right? And so we were gonna go to Cleveland, and we did. We got there in the morning, drove there around 7. So I left at 7 and I got there at 7:30, and then we left to go to the headquarters of the forestry place. And it was really funny because they looked at us there and they were like, you probably shouldn't be wearing shorts, because my friend and I, we ended up being the only 2 that went because the other 2 had to drop out last minute because one of them couldn't get off for work, and the other one actually sank his boat yesterday in the water when he hit a rock. I don't know. Anyway, so we went there, and the guys were like, hey, you really shouldn't be wearing shorts because there's a lot of brush over there. There's a lot of trees and things that could hurt you and things that could sting you. And so we were like, okay, can we go to Walmart then? Can we pick up some pants? And they brought out this one pair of fireproof pants, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna wear that, why not? And they ended up finding another one for my friend, so we both got fireproof pants. They were really nice and green, and we were laughing because we look like hipsters from the 80s. And the funny thing is, I had to wear Mr. Munger's belt, and it didn't really fit me, so he had to make his own hole for it, but it worked out in the end.
You totally could have used.
Guess what we found? Pants.
You
Fireproof
could
pants.
have used this thing right here. So
You
you didn't have to poke a hole in Munger's belt.
Oh.
But then he already started poking the hole. Because I have my own belt.
There it is.
Alright.
It's fine. It's cool.
All set?
So anyway, after that, we left and drove. Well, we went in the van, all of us. So we met them up at we met up with them at the headquarters, and then they took us in their 2 vans, and we drove up to the site, which was on Smith Mountain. And when we got there, we went to go search for land that hadn't been burned by any kind of forest fire. They have like prescribed forest fires over there, and so they knew where they did it and they didn't, and so we had to find a plot that had not had a forest fire.
All right, well, let's, we're following your lead, Bob.
So we found one, and we started getting all the data for it. Like, we made a rectangular plot, and we did the sampling for fuel sampling, and so it's like how many hours some of the things on the ground can burn. So it's like small twigs burn for an hour, thicker twigs for 100 hours, and then 1,000 hours. So you figure out how that goes. And then we did tree sampling, which we just went around and tagged a bunch of trees. I got to hammer all these tags on it, and it was really funny because my friend and I wanted the 100th tag, and we had ended up tagging all. So we had 100 tags, and we thought we wouldn't have 100 trees so that we could keep the 100th and 99th tabs, but we ended up using 99 of the tabs for all of the trees. And we're done.
Done!
Oh my god. We have the 100 left. That is just incredible. Got the 100th tab, and he also got a 100th tab, and then the one that we lost we had found, which was awesome. So we had 3 100th tabs, and I was like, I'm just gonna stick it in my room or something. Anyway, after that, it was pretty much over, and so we were headed back to the car. This is where all the craziness began. We were only originally like 20 minutes, maybe 30-minute walk to our car when we came and found the plot, but going back, we kind of got lost.
Oh, that one there could be over 100. That's pretty old for these woods. Everything got logged 100 years ago.
So the 2 guys that were taking us, one of them was leading our way. So he took us to some direction that was further than our car, and it wasn't actually the right spot, and we didn't know it until we got there, and we were kind of lost. And he was like, I admit I'm not really sure where we are. And so then we were a little bit frustrated because it was 40 minutes by then, and we were lost, and it's scary, But then we followed him again to some other spot, and this took, I think, probably an hour and a half, and after we stood there, we were pooped because we had just gone on this like straight up elevation of one of the ridges, and we were so tired. And even my teacher's girlfriend had gotten 5 bites by yellow jackets, and so she wasn't feeling well anyway. But we really hadn't eaten that much, and we were just kind of really tired because we had worked from 10 to it was 2, and so we were kind of tired of all the field work, and we just wanted to go home. So when we were lost, we were a little bit frustrated, and it was really scary because even though we had a map and a GPS, we didn't take the coordinates of our car, so we had no idea where we were. And so this guy was like, oh, let's just head this way, and we followed him twice, and we still didn't end up where we needed to go, so we were definitely lost. And we didn't have much water left. It was by then 4:30, and so we were a little bit freaked out. And so my teacher was like, okay, when I came here, I saw that the roads were going from north to south, and we were on the west side of the road, so if we keep going east, we're gonna hit a road eventually. And so finally, after 2.5 hours of being lost in the woods, we followed my teacher, and we went east. And we went east for about, I think, 30 minutes, and finally we hit road, and it just happened to be the road with our vehicle.
Did we make it or did we make it?
We partially made it. I'm not making it first to make it.
Okay, I owe money if I was wrong.
We should get milkshakes on our way back.
Oh yeah, y'all getting milkshakes no matter what. East was the ticket. We knew we were going to hit a road one way or the other.
But throughout this time, I know I said that really quickly, but we were in the middle of some part in Cleveland. Not really Cleveland, it was like, I don't know if Cleveland is next to the Ocoee, but we were next to Hiwassee and Ocoee River, and no service, no GPS coordinates that could take us to where we needed to be, no water, not much food. We had a couple of granola bars, and it was just the 6 of us, which it was so scary because the fact that all 4 of us weren't really familiar with it. I mean, my teacher was, but not extremely familiar, but the 2 forest rangers, they literally do this for their living, and they still got lost. And that's kind of what annoyed me a little bit, but scared me even more because this guy told us like he'd been lost before, and it wasn't like a new thing to get lost in the woods, and he'd end up finding his way back there one day. But it is not like funny when your parents think you're coming home at 2:30 and you end up not even being able to text them until like 4:30 or 5. And when I got home, Mom was really freaking out, and she was like, I called everyone. I called your friend's mom, I emailed your teacher, and I even asked like my dad and my sister to try to track my phone, and I couldn't because I didn't have service. And so it was all just so chaotic. And I mean, I was really thankful that I had those pants because, I mean, I have a couple of scratches already. Like, I have this one scratch on my leg, and I could have gotten way more scratches. But the point of the story is, well, there's not really a point, but the thing is, it was just so scary. And while I was there, I wasn't very stressed about it. I was, like, a little bit annoyed. I was like, oh, wow, kind of upset that this guy didn't know where we were going. I mean, kind of upset as in I could have been majorly upset because it's a field trip, and we were supposed to be back, and I had, like, kind of had a lot of stuff to do. But I mean, that wasn't really my major concern. I was just worried about getting back and before it got dark. I mean, it got dark 2 hours after we came back, I think. I don't know. We got back at 6:30, and it was scary. It was really scary when I came back, and I thought, what if we hadn't gone east, and what if we had, and what if we had skipped it? Some weird scenarios started popping in my mind, and I got home. That's when I got really frustrated, which was weird because I wasn't in the situation. But when I was talking to my mom, I was like, I'm so mad that happened. And she was freaking out, and I felt horrible to make my family worry about me, but I really couldn't do anything about it. Oh my god, but it was really scary. I mean, it was an adventure, but I don't know. It was really scary. Environmental science, man. This class makes me do the most. It was a crazy thing to experience, and I think I would have gone crazy if it were with any other, like, crowd. So that's what happened today. It was crazy.
We're done.